Hi, my name is Sussan Lari, president of Sussan Lari Architect. The most important challenge on this project was the siting of the property. The land itself is a very long and very narrow piece of property. About 2¼ acre, but from one end of the property along the narrow edge to the other side is about 30 feet. And it was a continuous, kind of slope. Basically, we needed to create a plateau in the middle of the property to place the house, the main entrance, the garden, the outdoor living, and all the built-in part of the project. So the old design, this was the point of entry, the driveway into the property. I didn't like the look. I think this ground is too gorgeous to be cut, too beautiful to be interrupted. So I decided that on this street, that's where the point of entry into the property is more private, but I'm totally okay with that. This is the private parking courtyard. The entrance door to the house is completely private. The house is brick and stone, 2-story high, as you could see. There's a breezeway connecting the front and parking to the back, which is outdoor living. All along this axis is the plateau that was created in order to place both the house as well as the garden. The property was a huge slope, so the very first retaining wall is right all along here. We were allowed to do a maximum of 4 feet high, but we added the railing above it to create an extra height. And as you could see, all greenery, which in time it grew into a flourishing garden. And then the trail is on the upper level. So this is one area of entering into the trail. Lots of greenery, and then on this side is outdoor living. The first is the upper platform where all the different functions are. So this area is the pool patio. We have an outdoor shower, a sun deck. From here we're entering into the only ground that we have that is wide enough for a tent. In order to avoid too much retaining wall, this entire section was designed with big boulders in order to make it a bit more natural. So this long flat plateau starts from the driveway, go through different courtyard, and this is really more or less the end of it. So from here we are entering into the cut flower garden and the vegetable garden. One of the features of this project was to make it most natural, a very kind of wild garden atmosphere. The feel is natural, as you could see, is wild, is very inviting. I think my client tend mostly on the front part to be more kind of elaborate and flowery, and this part is more natural. And from here is really the front yard of the house. All of these trees were already here, very kind of random. The idea is to create a sense of kind of wooded area, and then the huge slope, and the house is on top. Almost for the entire property, the house is not visible from the street. That was intentional. The house is actually a 3-story house. We were able to get the basement with access to the garden, but as we are not allowed to have a 3-story, we built a kind of retaining wall right in front to hide the lowest level from the street. The trail is almost like a secret garden. The lowest level, which is the cellar, is all stone, and then that's the floor above, and the 2-story, there's a terrace on top. So again, from here we continue with the trail. Used to be wider. I think the plants are grown on both sides, and it's created a much narrower trail, but it's really lovely and it's enchanting. And the trail is all along the upper plateau. You see the ground in front of the house. And this is the end of the trail, entering into the pool plateau. I am incredibly pleased with the way this garden ended up to be.